Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Empowerment Series. I have my wonderful dear friend, Sara Lomax, with me, and I'm going to introduce her the way that I know her. Sara, I'm also going to, um, I have to talk about you and your impressive bio, if that's okay. I actually went
Fine.
to Wikipedia, which is kind of cool. And Wikipedia says what we all know, you are the CEO of WURD. WURD is the only African American owned and operated talk radio station in Pennsylvania. Sara is a true leader in our region, in state and elsewhere. She is part of, if I can tell everybody, Sara, she's part of the Lomax family. Her father was actually Martin Luther King's um, physician. And I think Philadelphia Magazine called you and your family, what was it, Philadelphia royalty? I'm sorry, I know you're rolling your eyes right now, but they
Okay,
said it. You didn't say it, right?
true.
And and also I know, Sarah, because we talked a long time ago about, and we launched, which we need to relaunch, a wonderful program where we brought together 100 women leaders. This was before this was really done, where Sarah and I brought together different leaders from all different uh, backgrounds and varieties and just talked to people about what they did and how they accomplished it. It was really supportive. And the wonderful part also was we brought about a dozen young women in to hear these conversation who we believed in them and their future. So um, that was really wonderful. So, Sara, thank you for, everything you do for all of us. You are a big giver.
Mm.
And, I really wanted you to be on and to tell everybody, when was that time when you were like, I'm going to bet on myself?
Mm. Well, first of all, thank you, Sue. Yes, we have been romping around Philadelphia, doing different things together for quite a while, and I really
Yeah.
do appreciate your and value your friendship and insights, as a leader in this city. Um, when was the time when I bet on myself? I think most recently, when I stepped into the role of general manager and president of WURD in 2010. So
Mm.
I have been in this space of reimagining and reinventing and building and growing and WURD for about 15 years now. And I did not when I stepped into that role, I did not have radio experience. I was a journalist. I am a journalist by training. I had launched and co-founded a magazine called Health Quest that I started in 1992 with my co-founder Valerie Boyd. God rest her soul. Um, and we built that for 10 years. It was the first African American consumer health magazine launched, and we grew that for 10 years. And after September 11th, 2001, so much devastation happened in the aftermath of September 11th. And the advertising market really was paralyzed. And the magazine that I had co-founded was 100% supported by advertising. So I closed the magazine down in 2002, and at the same time, my father bought WURD, and I was hosting a show. I hosted a show on WURD for about 10 years, but was very clear that I did not want to be involved in the day-to-day operations of that radio station. I was very resistant to that. And it became clear to me over the years because I would sit in on some of the management meetings and the board meetings, and it became very clear to me that the radio station was really struggling. It was losing a lot of money. It had kind of a revolving door of general managers, and it was just really struggling. And so I felt like it was like a little bit of professional and family malpractice that I was the only one in my family who really knew media. And I was willfully sitting on the sidelines while this organization was really struggling. And so around 2009, I dipped my toe in and said, let me just try and do like a really cool event, which was a 1 year retrospective of Barack Obama's election as the first Black
Mm.
president of the United States. And we did this big event at the Kimmel Center, and it was like a red carpet. It was like incredibly successful. And after that, my family was like, well, damn, you should, you need to get more involved. And so I did. I stepped in, I put together a strategic plan, and that's a very long backstory to say I stepped into a role that I knew that I could do because I had this experience in media, but I also knew that I was stepping into a very difficult, demoralized organization. And there was very low confidence in me as someone who had the skill set and the ability to do a turnaround because the station had gone through so many leadership changes. And so,
So,
but
so what,
I said, I know the bones of media. I know marketing. I know content development. I know distribution. I know ad sales. I know the components, and I can apply that to any business, any media business. And I did. And I came in there, even though people thought they could, that I wouldn't last. Here I am 15 years later.
there we go. And we're all the direct beneficiaries. So you come in and like, what did you do? I mean, so how, or did it just gradually take time and people like, okay, she knows what she's doing, or did you sort of admit what you didn't know, or did you, I don't know, what
Yeah,
was it that got everybody's trust?
well, I mean, honestly, the fact that I was the owner's daughter did not help. So
Ah,
I'm a woman, I'm a Black woman, I am a Nepo, I guess a Nepo baby. I'm the owner's child.
mm.
And so all of those things together combined, I think there was an assumption that I would fail, and that the only reason I was in that role was because I was the owner's daughter. And so,
Which kind of blows me away knowing you,
right,
right?
right.
So,
Well,
but you
I mean,
were
that was
like,
that was that was probably the thing that I leaned on the most, is that, nobody here knows me.
hmm,
They don't know what I can
right.
do or what
In
I can't
fairness,
do. So I
right.
can't take it personally. I can't take it personally that people have this assumption that I'm not going to succeed. And so I didn't really allow that to be an obstacle, because I was just like, they don't know any better. And I
Mm.
just did the work. I just, I think that and for a long time I think that, people didn't think that the ideas that I had would work. We started a membership program like
Hmm.
almost immediately.
I'm a member.
So thank you. We did a lot of events, like events became our calling card, and it still is our calling card. We're one of the few radio stations now that still is like out in the community and deeply invested in being on location and in the community.
Yes, you're known for that.
We're
Yes.
known for that. And that was a
Yes.
very intentional strategy when I came in, because, and it was very much a revenue strategy, because we didn't have the audience numbers, but I had really great relationships. My dad had a lot of goodwill in the community. And so I would go to people in corporate America who I knew, who, respected me, respected my father. And I said, look, give us a chance. I know you can't green light big budgets. But I know that you have like a community outreach budget, and a lot of times it was less than $5,000. If they could green light a spend of less than $5,000. And so I would go to people and be like, look, can you sponsor us for $4,500?
Can you bet on me?
Can you bet
Right?
on me?
Yeah.
And that was really the way, and a lot of it was event based because once you get into advertising, you're in the realm of ad agencies, and ad agencies are not friendly to companies like mine, particularly when I first started, because they're totally like metric based and CPM, and it's a very kind of
I see.
mathematical calculation. It's not as much about, you know what, let me take a chance, because agencies are really the broker between the client and a media organization. And so if they take a chance and it doesn't pan out, they look bad to their client and their business could be compromised. So I would go directly to the organization, the corporations, and talk to people that I knew in those corporations and ask them to take a chance and to greenlight a small budget, and we will deliver. We will show that we can deliver. And that's what we did. It was like show and prove, show and prove, show and prove. And and you know,
And it sounds like one
worked.
of your, it totally worked. And it sounds like you also pivoted to more relationship based.
100%. I mean, it was really it was all relationship based back then. Um, because it was a turnaround. You
Hmm.
know, like the station had not been performing well. It wasn't a strong product. It wasn't, you know, it didn't have a strong audience. Like all of the things that you are selling to a sponsor or an advertiser needed to be improved and bolstered and enhanced. And so that has been the work that I've been doing over these many years, and just, you know, diversifying what we do. We started an environmental justice initiative. We started a jobs and economy initiative. We started a directory for multicultural doctors. You know, we have really been very audience centric and audience focused. Like, because we're in conversation, we're this two-way talk format. And so we're in dialogue with our community all the time. And so we are able to build products and provide resources based on what we're hearing back. And so I think that's the other thing that was core to my philosophy when I came in was we need to always put our audience first.
Mm.
We need to always be thinking about like what is the experience that we are creating for the audience? What are the needs? What are the you know, um the things that we need to amplify, and who do we need to hold accountable? So, you know, there's it's a very um it's a very like I said, audience focused, audience centric philosophy, which a lot of times doesn't exist anymore either.
Well, and that's because I believe that you are a giver and that you do, no, really, it shows in your leadership. And, the one thing I hope, because I mean, just listen to all the things that you just listed, right? And what an important impact you're having in our city and region. And so I just hope, I'm just saying that I know you're always like, "I've got to be better. But you really are great. And I hope you take a little bit of time to celebrate, this amazing thing that you built and the accomplishment and the impact you've had on so many people in their lives." So that's
I
my two
appreciate that.
cents, but I really do believe that. I know a lot of us believe that.
Well,
So
I really I appreciate that, and I will take that to heart, because this climate is a very difficult climate to feel any sense of satisfaction, you know, because it is you know, there's so many things that are being chipped away and dismantled, and this is so the work that I have done to create all that we've created, you know, AM, FM, podcast, video, social, like fully multimedia organization. It is and I am very proud of the work that me and my team do every day. But we are we are kind of operating in quicksand because the foundation that we thought we had is very it's very unstable in this current environment.
So thank you even more, right, for everything you're doing, and we truly appreciate your leadership, and thank you for sharing your story with all of us. It's great.
Thank you, Sue.